Hello students, welcome to the online classes of geography of class 10. Today is the fifth class of your chapter 1 resource and development, and the topic for today's discussion is land utilization. Under this category or under this topic, the subtopics that I have divided is what do you mean by the term land use, factors influencing land use, and what are the categories of the land use that is present in our country. Now, what is land use? The land that is a natural resource that is being used by the nature as well as it is being used by man. Now, how nature is using the natural vegetation that is present on the earth's surface, it is done by the nature. The river that is flowing, the land that is being used by that river is done by the nature. And when we are making the infrastructural development, means when we are building up the houses, when we are that is doing the work of cultivation, this is the land that is being utilized by the man. So what is land use? The use of land that is being done both by man and nature. And there are certain patterns in the world of this land use. We term it as a land use patterns. Now, some factors are continuously influencing the land use. What are those factors? The factors of land use will be subdivided under the two headings. Obviously, the first one is the physical factor and the second one is the human and the economic factor. Now, what are the physical factors that influences the land use? Number one is the relief feature. Now, if the land is a level land, the agricultural activity will be prominent, the industrial development, the infrastructure development will be more, the settlement activity will be more. So, level land will have all these categories of land use. And if the terrain is more, if the slope is more, then there will be restrictions of all sorts of activities. So, the first is the type of the relief feature will indicate the category of the land use. The second is the soil and its fertility. Now, if we see the soil type of Rajasthan, we all know that Rajasthan is a desert area. So, over there the soil type is obviously not the fertile one. And if we see the soil type of the Ganga river, nearby the Ganga river, the banks of Ganga, that is the northern plain areas. So what is the resultant? Over there, the soil type is very much fertile. So what do you think? What type of land use will be there in the Rajasthan? There will no the cultivable ground. Rather, the cultivable ground will be present in the northern plain or the Ganga Valley region. So the type of the soil and its fertility also indicates the land use. Next, climatic condition. If the climatic condition is moderate, every sort of human activity flourishes out. Means they are getting a huge span of time as a working hours because the climatic condition is favorable for the human being. And if the extreme climatic conditions are there, if we move to the Leh Ladakh region, what do you think? The climatic condition is so very extreme that the land that is present over there cannot be utilized because the climatic condition does not support for the long working hours. So as a result, the climatic condition also indicates the land use categories. The land use factors. Next, it is the natural vegetation. If the areas are densely forested naturally, then like if we move to the northeastern part of our country, it is totally inaccessible or it is partially inaccessible because of dense network of forest, and the reason behind is because those are the areas of the heavy rainfall. So over there the maximum of the land is under the forest. So the land use category over there is related to the forest cover. And lastly, availability of the fresh water. If the areas are having a easy availability of the fresh water, then they can use the land for the agricultural plot or for the cultivation. So these are the physical factors that influences the land use. Now there are some human and the economic factors too. First of all, population growth. Where the population is dense, what will be the size of the cultivable ground and what will be the most important category of the land use? There, if the population is dense, the size of the cultivable ground will be very small, or gradually it will shrink out. Why? Because population needs more area for their settlement purpose. So gradually the land will be occupied for the settlement activities compared to the agricultural purposes. Next, quality of population. If the people are quite literate, then they can better or they can judiciously use the land in a wise manner. A very small plot of land can be used for various purposes. For example, if we move to Kerala, over there the density of population is not very low. It comes under the category of the high dense populated area. But there the land is being utilized very wisely. If it is near the coastal areas, they are using it as a tourism aspect, they are using it as a fishing ground, they are using it as for generation of that is tidal energy, or it is being used for various other activities, like they are doing the cultivation of the crops which needs the saline water. So that means they are very wise in using a small plot of land. And if we move to the areas where the population is not so very literate, the illiteracy is much more high, the quality of the population is not there. So we can find out a vast stretch of the area is present where only a small plot of the area is being utilized for the agricultural purpose, and the rest of the land is totally wasted. So if the quality of the population is more, the optimum utilization of the land is there, and if the quality population is not there, then there is a wastage of the land resource. Next is technology. The better the technology, the most use of the land resource, or the maximum use of the land resource. And if there is a lacking in the technological development, the land resources will be totally wasted. Now if we go to the mountainous areas, due to the technological development, even the slopy areas are being converted into a into a agricultural plot. How? By making steps, by making terraces, terrace farming. This is the work of the technology. It is due to the technological development, mountainous tract has also been developed into a cultivable ground. Occurrence of the mineral deposit is the next factor. Where the mineral deposits are there, so what will be the ideal land use? Either the mines will be developed or the land will be used for the industrial purposes. Crop combination. Only a small plot of land is there, and we have to get the maximum use of it. We need to fulfill a huge demand because of large population. So we have to do the multiple cropping over here. You have heard about this term, multiple cropping. So this is coming under the category of crop combination. And lastly, level of development. Higher the level of development of any region, higher or the better is the land use, and lower the development of the area, the land use is not according to the that is requirement, rather it is getting wasted. Now next we will proceed to the categories of the land use that is present in our country. The first one is the forest. Though the desired forest cover is of 33%, but it is not there in our country. So we have to increase the forest area by various other activities, by following the policy of afforestation. Next category is land not available for cultivation. Under this category we are having two. One is the that is the wasted land, that is sandy waste, marshes, rocky snow covered areas. This is actually the barren lands, which is considered as a barren lands, and basically it has been degraded lands which has been degraded by various types of human activities like deforestation, by dumping of the waste and many more, by improper farming techniques. Next category is the land put to non-agricultural uses. Now the one which is not under the cultivation, either we are using it for settlement, either we are using it for building other infrastructure, either we are using it for the development of the transport and so on. Now the third category of the land use is other uncultivated area, excluding fallow lands. Now what are fallow lands? It is a arable land. Hopefully you got the term arable land. It is a cultivation land or cultivable ground. Now this fallow land means the cultivation or the cultivable ground that is purposely kept uncultivated for few months to few years so that it regain its fertility naturally. And when any land is regaining its fertility naturally, that means the land resources is replenished, is being renewed. So land is also a renewable resource. But continuously if we are using all those chemical fertilizer, it is losing its fertility, it is losing its quality, getting a degraded land. Now under the other uncultivated lands, we are having three categories. Permanent pasture, the pasture grounds where the or what we can term it as a grazing ground, which is mainly meant for the herds, cattle. Land under miscellaneous tree crops, which is maybe a plantation areas, maybe a orchards, maybe a citrus fruit areas, that is miscellaneous trees and groves. And lastly, culturable wasteland, the land which is being cultured, but now it is a wasteland. Why? Because it is not been cultured in the present scenario. It was cultivated in the last 5 years ago, but at present it has not been cultivated. There can be many reasons, because farmers are not getting the incentives from the government. Maybe the rainfall is not adequate to the supply the moisture, or the farmers have switched off their activities from the farming to the other activities where they are getting much more profit or benefits. So there can be many more factors why the land has been developed as a culturable wasteland. So this is the third category. Fourth category of the land use is fallow lands. Already I mentioned what is a fallow land. Under the fallow lands there are two categories. Current fallow, that is not cultivated for few months, and other than current fallow, that is left uncultivated for 1 to 5 agriculture year. Here also it can be maybe a crop failure has resulted into this, maybe the poverty of the farmers have not been able to develop the farming activities, or maybe some other reasons that has kept the land fallow for between 1 to 5 years. Now the last most important land use category for our country, which shares the maximum percentage, is the net sown area. This is exactly the culturable ground, means the arable land, and arable land for that moment of time of one agricultural year. Now what is this agricultural year? The year begins from January to December. But agricultural year means when the sowing season begins and the harvesting season ends. In agricultural calendar, the first month is Baisakh and the last month is Chaitra. So from Baisakh to Chaitra, when the work is being done or it's not been done, it's kept uncultivated purposely to regain its fertility, that is when it is being cultivated, it is termed as net sown area. And suppose I'm just explaining, suppose this is an entire plot of land I'm having. I'm just cultivating this 1/4 of it. This is considered as a net sown area. If I cultivate this plot of land for twice, for thrice, so I will add up this area 3 times, and along with that this area will also be added up. 3 plus this entire whole area is termed as gross cropped area. That means this is the entire gross area for cultivation, but the cultivable land is only this much for that moment of time within that agricultural year. So this is net sown area. This plus whole this is gross cropped area. So this is the topic of discussion. Today I am concluding the topic by giving some questions as a worksheet. Now the first question is, fallow land is declining. Why? And what are its benefit? Now why the fallow lands are declining? Why we are not keeping the land fallow to regain its fertility naturally? Because we have developed lots of fertilizers, we have developed the facilities of irrigation, we have developed the technology to cultivate the land more than once within one agricultural year. So that is why now land is not kept fallow. And what are its benefit? Now obviously it is having its benefit. Suppose the land is kept fallow, what will be the resultant? The land is kept fallow, what will be the resultant? The farmers who are employed over there, they are not going to have any sort of work when it is kept fallow. So if it is not kept fallow, they will be continuously in work and they will be earning their livelihoods regularly. There will be no sort of poverty for that period of time. Next, we will get much more productivity, and that will also help the economy because it will produce high grades of grains or whatever the food crops. As a result, there will be economic benefits. So these are the benefits of not keeping the land fallow. Now, states like Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland, Andaman and Nicobar Islands have less percentage of land under farming. Why? Because you can find out either these are uneven terrain or they are the island groups where the maximum of the area is being occupied by the natural vegetation. So thus why the percentage of the land under farming means the net sown area is very less over here. The percentage of net sown area is maximum in the state of Punjab and Haryana. First of all, Punjab and Haryana, what is their type of relief feature? It is a level land. Secondly, what is the population growth? Over there, population growth is not so very dense like that of West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. They are having comparatively moderate population. So they are getting a plot of agricultural farming. And thirdly, the technological development is there. That means they have started following the green revolution strategy. So as a result, their net sown area is maximum. So I have discussed all the points related to the questions. Hopefully now you can answer the question. You can jot it down in your copy. Thank you for following the class.